Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we're going back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we take a look at Thor. And if you are enjoying these videos, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering Thor. This movie was released on April 17th, 2011. It was directed by Kenneth Branagh. The screenplay was by Ashley Edward Miller, Zach Stentz, and Don Payne. The production companies were Marvel Studios, and it was distributed by Paramount Studios. The box office, or the budget for this movie, was $150 million, and the box office was $449.3 million. But let's take a look at the production. So originally, Sam Raimi had an idea to make a Thor film after he had completed his Darkman picture, and he had met with Stan Lee to pitch the idea to 20th Century Fox. Fox did not understand the idea, and the project was under development until April of 1997. Marvel Studios was expanding rapidly, and Thor was reconsidered after the success of the original X-Men movie. The original idea was for Thor to be a TV movie and that it would be aired on UPN, and the original actor considered for this version was Tyler Mane. In May of 2000, Marvel brought Artisan Entertainment to help with this project, but the film still remained underdeveloped until as of June of 2004. Sony Pictures would then secure the film rights, and in December of 2004, David S. Goyer was hired to, or was in negotiation with Marvel to write the screenplay and to be the director. The project seemed to fizzle out though in 2006, and Goyer was no longer interested in the project. In April of 2006, the project moved to Paramount Pictures, and Mark Prosovich was hired to write the screenplay. In August of 2007, Marvel hired Matthew Vaughn to direct the movie, and he would rewrite the Prosovich script. The film was finally announced to be released on June 4th of 2010, and this movie would follow Iron Man 2, which would introduce the character to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Vaughn would be released after his holding deal expired in May of 2008, and the filming had yet to begin. The filming had yet to begin. Other directors that were in talks of directing Thor were Guillermo del Toro and DJ Carso, but both declined to work on other projects. By December of 2008, Kenneth Branagh was hired to direct and actually asked Daniel Craig to play Thor, but he had to decline due to his scheduling conflicts with the James Bond series. The release date would be pushed back again to give the film some distance before Captain America: The First Avenger. A new version of the script would be rewritten, and this time by Ashley Edward Miller and Zach Stentz, and they were TV writers, so they were hired because they could write scripts quite quickly. Some of the actors that were considered for Thor at this point would include Josh Hartnett, Kevin McKidd, Triple H, the professional wrestler, before they decided on Chris Hemsworth. In terms of filming the movie, in October of 2008, Marvel had signed a long-term agreement with Relia Studios to shoot their next 4 films. Principal photography on Thor would begin on January 11th of 2010 at the studio, as well as in Santa Fe, New Mexico for location shooting. Filming would go on until May 6, 2010, but reshoots were done in October of 2010. In April of 2011, it was announced that the film would also be released in IMAX 3D. BUF Campaign would create all the visual effects alongside Digital Domain. The film score would be composed by Patrick Doyle, along with the Foo Fighters writing a song called Walk for the film. So in terms of the cast, so we have Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, Natalie Portman, who plays Jane Foster, Tom Hiddleston, who is Loki, Kat Dennings, who plays Darcy Lewis, Stellan Skarsgård, who plays Eric Selvig, Clark Gregg, who plays Phil Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D., Rene Russo as Frigga, and Anthony Hopkins as Odin. In terms of the plot, after wanting to wage war against the frost giants, the mighty warrior Thor is cast out from Asgard by his father Odin and is sent down to Earth. With no way home and his hammer lost, Thor struggles to reclaim his powers. Meanwhile, on Asgard, Thor's brother, deceivious brother, Loki, has seized the throne and seeks to help the frost giants reclaim their glory. With the help from scientist Jane Foster and her team, Thor must learn the true virtue of being a hero and return home to stop Loki, save Asgard from destruction. So because this is a Marvel movie and part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this movie had an interesting marketing campaign. In July of 2010, Marvel Studios would hold a Thor panel at San Diego Comic-Con with Branagh and the cast from the film making appearances. The first TV ad was broadcast during Super Bowl in 2011 on Fox, and a viral marketing campaign was launched in 2011 with Marvel Studios and Acura at the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. Other promotional partners for the movie included Burger King, 7-Eleven, Dr. Pepper, and Visa. Marvel Entertainment, Dan Buckley, and Marvel Comics CEO Axel Alfonso would ring the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange as a way to promote the movie as well. Marvel Animation would announce a 26-episode series that would feature Thor, and in November of 2008 to air in late 2010 before the release of the Marvel Studios Thor film. In addition, they would release an animated direct-to-video film called Thor: Tales of Asgard to coincide with the live-action film, as well as a video game called Thor: God of Thunder, based on the film, was developed by Sega using the voice and likeness of Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, and Jamie Alexander, and this was released on May 3rd of 2011. So a lot of different promotional parts, and this was just the beginning of the MCU, leading up to the Avengers movie. So in terms of the legacy, the movie would have a post-credit scene that featured Nick Fury to set up the Avengers movie. And the movie had several sequels as well, which we will cover in future videos. And in addition, Seraph, played by Jamie Alexander, would make an appearance on the TV show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fairly close after the movie was released. And in terms of the theme park, Thor will often make appearances at Avengers Campus in California Adventure in Anaheim. So in terms of recommending this movie, I really like the Thor movies, and this one is just kind of the beginning of it. I like the action, I like the story behind it. It kind of gives that Norse myth based on the comics some kind of full light. I also like that it's a mixture of comedy as well. Chris Hemsworth is a very skilled actor at being able to make us laugh as well as emotion as well. So I think it's that perfect blend. Really like Natalie Portman as well as Jane Foster. She's able to create that kind of sympathetic hero as well. And I like how this one introduces a lot of things for the future movies, especially with Avengers being released shortly thereafter. But at the same time, it's still an enjoyable movie on its own. So where even if you're not familiar with the whole kind of Marvel Cinematic Universe, you're still able to enjoy it as a single film, as not part of a huge kind of universe. So definitely think you should check this one out. I find the Thor movies, they get better and better and better, but this one's even great to start off with. So definitely recommend it. So thank you so much for joining us here on another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I would invite anyone to please leave a comment below on what they think of Thor. And as we look forward to our next episode, we're going to be taking a look at a horror classic as we take a look at The Omen. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.